right. As I was going through my book, first of all, let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know that you guys can hear me. I'll come into the camera in just a minute. Drop a 1 if you can hear me. Perfect. Okay. So I was going through my notes and I came across, let me find it. I came across 2 things that I wanted to talk about. I might do one today and one tomorrow. One is social media training. And also one is one of these videos when Matt Rosa and Jason Brown had the Chairman Boot Camp. I think this one is day 1 and then the social media training is like day 2 or something like that. But I did want to go over day 1 just because of the gems that were dropped and the value that was dropped. I know that a lot of us can, use a reminder. You use a refresher. All right. So let's get into this here. Lord, it's hot. All right, perfect. Perfect. All right, cool. Y'all let me know if you can see me. Give me 1 sec. Let's turn this on. Can y'all see me? Whoa, what happened? Y'all can see me? Awesome, great. Let's find these lights. Beautiful. I'll drop everything. All right, guys. So, Chairman Bootcamp day 1. The first note that was emphasized, guys, is time will either promote or expose, right? Time tells all things. It's either going to promote, it's going to allow you to level up, it's going to allow you to take the next step forward, or it's going to expose the work that you're not putting in, right? What you write down, you must learn to teach it and pass along the information, okay? So, shifting the culture, right? In terms of the IM Academy, we hit a huge momentum shift that really shook up the way we're moving forward within this space. We're propelling forward within this company and as well as, within our daily lives, right? Especially with everything that's going on, people are realizing more and more why it's important to educate yourselves and why it's important to learn how to invest your money and become self-sufficient, right? A trained team is a paid team, okay? So that basically means every single person on the team has to do their part in terms of diving into their education. Every single person has to show up and make sure that, they're doing their part. We talked about this yesterday when I said, make sure you fight your fight before you fight somebody else's fight, right? So make sure that you're properly trained so that you can effectively go out into the battlefield. Make sure that you're properly trained, you have the proper information so that you can effectively go and relay it off to somebody else, okay? How to launch somebody, right? This is one of the most important things when it comes to new family members coming into this business. All right, the most important thing is how you launch, right? Because this is going to determine how they move within this space. This is going to determine, how they're going to stick, how they're going to be involved, how eager are they going to feel to show up, to put in the work, right? To actually start to achieve their goals because they see that it's possible, right? So if you don't launch somebody effectively, It just might happen where they might have a slow start and then end up falling off before they could even get started, right? Understand that we're coming into a space that is not the norm. That's not normal to the masses. We're not used to this type of information. We're not used to this type of work ethic, or maybe this type of grind, or whatever the case is, right? Understanding that we're not just doing it for a right now end goal, but we're doing this for our life, that type of end goal, right? Not everybody is going to be wanting to put in the work knowing that they didn't even get a proper head start in, or proper footing in, right? That's why we have the structure going up. That's why we have the syllabus, and that's why we have the welcome mat. Everything is coming so that it's more of an effective launch. It's more of an effective way of bringing them into this business, okay? It's your responsibility to teach them in their 24 hours. Literally within their first 24 to 48 hours, it's your responsibility to relay this information to them. It's your responsibility to make sure that they have their brokerage account set up, that they're funded, that they've gone through the academy videos, right? It's your responsibility to make sure of that, especially if you say, hey, I'm going to mentor you, or hey, I'm going to teach you, or hey, I'm going to show you what it is that we do, and I'm going to show you how we make money, right? You have to hold yourself to your word, right? It doesn't make sense to say something and then not follow through, because at the end of the day, that messes up with your credibility and who you are, or whatever the case is. But just making sure that you're actually doing the necessary actions that it takes for them to be knowledgeable, right? Make sure that, but again, how does that start? You have to know your fight. You have to be able to have yourself straight, right? So cool. If you have any leaders in your organization, they need to know how to launch. They need to know how to effectively launch somebody. I'm going to move on, right? Transparency of behavior. Do you talk the talk, or do you walk the walk as well? Do you say like, hey, we make money in this market, and I'm going to be a million, whatever the case is, whatever language you're speaking, whatever things that you're saying when you come in front of the camera, or when you go and start to teach somebody, right? Is that just the talk, or do you actually back up that talk with action? Do you walk the walk as well? Are you really following through with the things that you're saying, right? Are you really going to be able to help somebody make money within their first week in this market, right? If you can't do it, don't say it. We're cutting out the fluff. We're cutting out the false promises. We're not here for that, right? We generally will need to make sure that people are effectively learning, effectively growing, effectively, tapping into the space by way of us. We have to set the example. We have to be the example. They're going to do what we do, not what we say, right? So make sure that whatever talk you're talking, you're able to walk the walk as well, because you don't want to get caught in a situation where you get caught talking your talk and you can't walk the walk, right? So one thing we need to know, guys, is what's our why, right? What's our why, and what's the why of the person that's coming in? Now you got to understand figuring out their why. And if they don't know their why, help them figure it out. At the end of the day, they're only going to be able to figure it out for themselves, but you can kind of ask certain questions where then they realize what their why is, right? For some people, like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy to find your why, because that's got to be something deep and internal. That's got to be something you really thought about. That's got to be something that has really presented itself in a way that brings a certain emotion out of you, right? So you got to figure out what their why is. And again, if they don't know what it is, talk about it. Get them to open up. Get them to, think about why they do the things that they do. Who do they do it for? Who are they going home to? What dreams do they have that they want to accomplish? Whatever it may be, right? Figure that out. And what you want to do is basically tie their why to the situation. Tie their why to this vehicle, right? A lot of us say that we're not here to be Forex traders forever. Mind you, you're going to learn the skill and you're going to know it, but we're not meant, I'm not here to be known as a Forex trader. I'm going to be honest, right? I have other goals and other dreams and other ambitions that I want to accomplish. This is going to be the vehicle that's going to help me that's going to help get me there, right? This is going to be the vehicle that I'm taking that's going to allow my dreams to come true. Because I'm going to be able to fund my dreams by doing this. I'm going to be able to grow myself into the person that I want to be, so that I can really go and fund everything that I want to do, or that I can accomplish the things that I want to do. Show my face for the things that I want to do. Become a whole new person, Same character, but just a different person. This is the future Reese. I want to be able to bring that into fruition so that I can tackle, right? So that I can tackle the tasks and the dreams and the goals and whatever it is that I need to get done, right? This is the vehicle for a lot of us. This is not the final destination. The majority of us are very young on this call, right? The majority of us have a lot of time. To be honest, it's never too late, right? It's never too late. If you're in your 40s, if you're in your 50s, or whatever the case is, it's never too late too, right? Understand that you still have a vehicle that is going to be able to take you to where you want to go, take you to all your dreams, all your journeys, all your fantasies, whatever it is that you've always desired in life, right? Let's try and block this light here, okay? All the desires that you have, it's going to help you get you there. And it's going to help you get you there quicker, right? Because clearly, staying in these 9 to 5s for 5, 10, 20, 40 years is not helping. It's not doing much because we're in the same spot, right? It's a cycle. So we want to break that cycle. We want to use this vehicle to break that cycle, right? We want to use this vehicle to start thinking differently. We want to use this vehicle to start acting differently. We want to use this vehicle to start aligning ourselves with the successful, with the wealthy, with the rich, because that's what we want, right? And not in a sense of I want money, but it's what the money can bring for you. It's the freedom that the money can bring for you, right? It's the happiness that it can bring for you, not even just by having it, but being able to help somebody else that you've always wanted to help out. Being able to open up this business or that business, or being able to produce your music, or being able to have your clinic, or whatever the case is. It's what the money is going to allow you to do, right? So your why is very, very important. Why is very, very strong. So you want to make sure that you're helping whoever's coming in, and even yourself, know your why, right? What Nate does a lot of the time when he hops on these calls is he gets everybody to write their why at the top of the paper. Write down your why at the top of your paper. Write it on your vision board, or write it wherever you can see it every single day. Whether it's on your phone screen, right? Maybe it's a picture of somebody, right? Maybe it's a little, it's a quote that reminds you of something that's going to keep you pushing, whatever it is. Your why needs to be within visibility literally every single day. Every single day. If you don't live with them or live with it or whatever the case is, put it on your phone screen, put it on your vision board, right? Y'all heard the saying, out of sight, out of mind? That's because if you don't continuously rehearse it over and over and repeat it and visually see it all the time, you're going to forget about it. You're going to forget, why you started. You're going to forget why you're here. You're going to forget what's pushing you to make sure that you can achieve everything that you want to achieve, accomplish everything that you want to accomplish, help whoever you want to help, right? The why is very, very important. So make sure that you specifically know what your why is, and whoever you're bringing into the business, they need to know what their why is as well. So then now when you get that done, you want to start to tie it into, that's funny, you want to start to tie it into how we're going to accomplish these goals, how we're going to get to where we need to get to, right? Your why stands for will help you. WHY, will help you, all right? So by knowing that now, you're able to say, you know what, this is the vehicle. I know my why, right? Now I'm going to be able to start to make my steps towards my why, right? But understand that a lot of the times that we have these goals and these dreams and these ideas of things, right? It's not going to happen like that. Otherwise, a lot of the time it would have been here already, right? You're a product of your environment. Your environment's a product of you sometimes too, right? So we got to now figure out what are the steps that we need to take in order to get there, to get to that goal, to get to that destination, right? Understand that it comes with trials and tribulations. Understand that it comes with tests to see if you're built to get there, or built to hold that position, or built to sit in that seat, right? If you're not built for it, you're going to end up having to take a step back, or reanalyze what that next step needs to be to help you get closer, right? So let's speak on failure real quick. Failure, again, is the fear of not knowing, right? Or sorry, people are afraid of failure because they're afraid of what they don't know. I'll say that, right? They're afraid of the possibilities of it not working out and getting upset because it didn't work out. Perspective, right? Instead of holding your failures top of your head like this, right? You want to feel forward. You want to feel forward. So you're here. This is your first failure. Cool, right? Then your next failure, you're going to put it on top the previous failure. It's a little bit more forward, right? And then the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one. And then before you know it, you have a staircase up to your success. Because you failed, and you failed, and you failed, and you failed. But are they really failures? They're just lessons to show you what ways don't work, right? I like to use that the trapped room analogy with the 20 doors. There's only one door that you can escape through, right? You're in the center of all 20 doors. There's only one door you can escape through. You're opening up doors you can't get through. You're opening up doors, there's a brick wall. You're opening up doors, there's a fire pit. You're opening up doors, there's Wonderland. You got to find that door that's going to allow you to break through. But because you opened up 5 doors and you didn't get through, you're going to stop. You're just going to sit there and not try to escape. It's either you escape or you die. So what are you going to do? You're going to keep opening up those doors and keep opening up those doors. There's a snake pit. Keep opening up those doors. Floor is full of glass. Keep opening up those doors. You got to find your way through. So you're not learning, you're not failing and thinking, oh, I have no hope, but you're just crossing off what doesn't work, failing forward. You'll never really learn if you don't actually try to learn. And trial comes with failure. It does, it has to, right? If everything was so easy for us to get it off the first try, the first chance, the first attempt, nothing would ever be so like fulfilling to actually get done. Nothing will ever be like, meaningful in terms of our success, in terms of the things that we put our effort towards. If every single time you try something and the first time you get it, it's going to become boring. It's going to become like, okay, where's the challenge? Some people may like it, easy way. Sometimes you get that first time beginner's luck or whatever you want to call it, right? Sometimes you may just be natural at it. Cool, right? But where's the challenge? The challenge is what's going to help shape you. The challenge is what's going to help build your character. The challenge is what's going to help change who you are so that you can now become that person. You can develop yourself into that person. Okay, so clearly the way I'm doing this, and this doesn't work. Now I need to reanalyze the way my blueprint is set up, the way I'm moving through this space, right? And then finally, I'm going to make another attempt. I'm going to try this, and this instead. I'm going to make an attempt with this. If this doesn't work, cool. I scratch that off my list. And I make another attempt. And you keep going until it works, right? We're in a space where it's not just one key. There are multiple keys that you need. So slowly, as you're going through your journey and you're finding your keys, sometimes you have the key, but it won't unlock the right door. You're trying to go through this door and you have the key to another door. You still need that key, but just not for this door. You gotta hold on. You gotta go and find the key for this door to unlock that next level. Then at least that way, when you get to the next level, you may already have the key to the next door. Uptrend, right? But again, you're not gonna know if you don't try. If you have the keys, you got 20 keys in one door, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna try this. It's just too much work. It's just too hard. I don't think I can do it. You try one key, oh, it doesn't work. I give up. Fail forward. Who is it? I think it's Denzel Washington. He did a whole speech about failing forward. If I can find that video, I'll drop it for you guys. Beautiful speech, but just basically reiterating exactly what I'm saying right now, right here, right? So, how do we set our goals? How do we set our goals when it comes to the things that we want to get done? How do we set our goals for the future, right? We have 2 types of goals, first of all. 2 types of goals. We have short-term goals. We have our long-term goals, all right? And within those 2, you have the financial-based goals, and then you have the fulfillment-based goals, right? So What are your short-term goals? What are the goals that you want to get done within the next 1 to 3 months? We're in summertime, right? What are the goals that you want to have accomplished by the end of summer? Where do you want to be by September 1st, August 30th, whenever? Where do you want to be at in the next 3 months, right? You have to be able to track your progress. This is why we set short-term goals, right? Never mind 3 months. Where do you want to be at by the end of this month? Where do you want to be at by the end of this week? Where do you want to be at by the end of today, right? You get 1% better every single day. So where do you want to be at? What do you want to get done? Set your goals, write down your goals. Because once you start to accomplish your goals, every time you accomplish your goals, you feel good because you got something done. Now you're like, I'm on this, let's go. What's next? What's next? You build that confidence inside of you, right? You build that confidence to say, hey, I want to keep going. Let me do something else. It's just one more. It's just one more, that's it. Every time you think of it, think of things that you have to do, it's just one more. Just one more thing. Once you start looking at, oh my God, I got like 10, 12 things, I got 20 things to do today. No, I got one thing to do. After I finish that one, okay, I got one more thing to do. After I finish, okay, I got one more thing to do. Set your goals, check them off as you go along your day. Once you start to see, next thing you know, you got half your goals done for the day and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Then you're like, oh, I got it done. Yes, let's go. Let me just knock out the rest of these in the next couple hours. Now you have your evening to do whatever. You want to relax, you want to meditate, you want to be on the charts, you want to listen to some videos, whatever the case is. Maybe some of those are your goals. That's okay. Whatever you want to accomplish, whatever you need to get done, those are your goals for the day. Set small goals. Check off those small goals and make it realistic when it comes to the day-to-day stuff. Make it realistic. Once you start to make it too unrealistic, you start to overanalyze and you start to maybe retreat from it because you realize how unrealistic or far-fetched the goal is. And you start to get discouraged and it's like, I didn't even do that, so now I don't want to do this. Now I don't want to do that. Maybe I should just cool it. No, set your small goals. The little bursts of confidence is going to help keep you going. It's going to help keep you flowing. It's going to help keep you pushing, right? So that's your short term. So now you have your financial base. Where do you want to be at by the end of the week with your trading account or whatever? Where do you want to be at residually by the end of the week or by the end of the month? Whatever the case is, what are your financial based goals? Do you have any debts you want to pay off by the end of this week? It's little small things, right? Then you have fulfillment based goals, right? These goals are for you. These goals are something that, you know, you truly want to accomplish for yourself. These are things like, you know, off the top of my head, I can't even think of anything, Lord. If you wanna run a lap around the block, that's a fulfillment based goal. You can get it done by today. Just go out and do it, right? You get it done, you feel good. And not only did you accomplish that goal, but with it being a physical goal now, you've put your body into a state where you've now energized it. You've now picked up the pace, right? If it's not too hot for you to run around the block, you're gonna wanna do more after that. You're gonna wanna feel, what else can I get done? I ran around the block. I don't wanna just sit down and be lazy and watch TV and eat chips. Like that's just gonna cancel out everything that I just did. So what else can I get done to keep up this good momentum, right? Fulfillment-based goals. Then you have your long-term goals. These goals range from 6 to 12 months, right? With these goals now, you need some depth and you need some vision to actually see and paint the picture for these goals, right? Go into your imagination and start to mentally rehearse where do you want to be, start to paint your picture, right? A lot of the time, we may not even have a picture to you know, refer off of, or whatever the case is. Start looking through social media, start looking through the internet, look for pictures of things that you want, cars, houses, vacations, family stuff, like literally anything that you want to get done or anything that you want in your life, go and Google it, find the pictures of it, and then start to mentally rehearse yourself in that situation, right? A lot of the time, when we are looking for something that is going to become part of our lives or whatever the case, sometimes we don't see it right away. We may speak it, but Do you really have the emotion behind it? Do you really put that faith and that energy into what you're speaking? Do you really believe it? Right? If not, okay, practice. You just got to practice showing up and practice doing it every single day. Mentally rehearse it. I told you, like, close your eyes. There was a point in time where I knew I wanted to be on stage, but I didn't know what I wanted to wear. I didn't know what I wanted to say. I didn't know how big the crowd was going to be. I didn't know what the stage was going to look like. I've literally painted that entire picture in my head now. I can literally close my eyes and see it all. Just see it all. So you got to get yourself to that point too. It's one of those things where repetition breeds obsession, right? Repetition breeds obsession. So you got to repeat it over and over and over again. Say it to yourself over and over and over again, right? Think it over and over and over again until you can start to see a picture. Sometimes the image is still very blurry. It's okay, right? It's not meant to be super clear all the time right away. Sometimes you really got to put in that effort and put in that work to say, you know what? This is the life I want to create for myself and for the people that are around me. I need to really take the time and think about it and plan it out. And as you're doing it, don't only mentally rehearse it, but write it down. Write it down so that you remember your thoughts. You remember what it is that you want to look like, how you want to feel, who you want to be around you, who do you want to help out. Write it all down. This is you literally creating the blueprint for your life. Writing it down is now you're creating that receipt. It's the conviction. You read it out loud. It's like, okay, it has to happen now because I've seen it and I've heard it. I'm so happy and grateful now that whatever. You got to see it and hear it over and over and over again. And then you close your eyes and you think it. And you got to believe it. You can't live in belief and doubt at the same time. I promise you can't. So, who's going to win? Who are you going to let win? Are you going to tap into your belief system? Are you going to tap into everything that you want, regardless if you think it's for you or not? Are you going to tap into the life that you want to live and start to actually mentally rehearse it? Or are you gonna let your paradigm get in your way? Are you gonna let your current results get in your way? Are you gonna let the things that you're going through right now get in your way? Understand that this too shall pass. Okay? This moment will pass. And next thing you know, it's another day, and another day, and another day. And it's been a year, and it's been 2 years, and it's been 5 years. Where are you going to be 2 to 5 years from now? Ask yourself. What do you want to have 2 to 5 years from now? What accomplishments do you want to have 2 to 5 years from now? How many people do you want to help 2 to 5 years from now? Right? You got to start to think about all of that. You got to start to process all of that. You got to start to manifest it all. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen if you don't practice it. It's also not going to happen if you don't change your habits, if you don't change your paradigm, if you don't tap into that old you that's holding you back. Excuse me. You don't tap into that old you that's holding you back from elevating into the highest version of you, to the best version of you, to that spiritual you. You're going to be stuck in your current results. You're going to be stuck in your present situation. Right? So remember to set your goals. These are not microwavable results. This is an oven-based mindset. Think about that. These are not microwavable results. It's an oven-based mindset, meaning that you really have to let it cook, let it resonate, let it really bake, let it really seep in, let it really just sit and just slow roast and develop. You try to cook it in the microwave, it doesn't have the same effect, it doesn't have the same taste. Doesn't have the same energy coming from it. But oven-based, you've allowed it to marinate. You've allowed it to sit. You've allowed it to do what it has to do for it to really come out A1, top notch. Right? So what kind of results do you want? Do you want the oven-based result, or do you want the microwavable results? If you're okay with microwavable, by all means, do you, boo. If you want that oven-based results, be patient. Time will tell. Time will either promote or expose. That was the first thing from this note, right? Be patient and everything will come to you as long as you keep working. Work, and just work. Work on you. Every single day you just show up and you just work. You don't have to know how, you don't have to know when, but why? You got to know your why. And why you're going to be able to get all your results is because you worked and you worked. You didn't know what was going to happen. You didn't know who was going to show up. You didn't know who you were going to talk to. You don't know who's going to join your business. You don't know what trades you're going to get into. But you just got to work, and approach the situation as it approaches you, and just keep working. You just keep working and take advantage of the opportunities. You just keep working. You keep working, and you keep showing up for yourself so that you can effectively show up for others. Right? You can start off small when it comes to your goals, and then go bigger and bigger and bigger. You should have small, realistic goals, things that you want to get done on a local scale, and then you should have huge, unrealistic goals. Huge goals that you may, people might look at you sideways for. Huge goals where no one's gonna believe you when you say it. It's okay. You don't gotta believe me. Just watch, because I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep working. I'm gonna keep showing up for myself. I'm gonna keep showing up for the future family. I'm gonna keep showing up for the current family. Keep showing up. Keep doing it. Right? I'm gonna skip that. One more. Okay, so a couple more things when it comes to goals. We talked about short-term and long-term. I want y'all to write down your goals. Find the time today to write down some goals that you have, right? And put a date on it. Make sure you have a date set so that you're able to track your progress, like we mentioned, right? You're able to see, okay, if my goal is for June 30th, where are we at today? June 9th, June 10th? June 10th. Wow, it's already the 10th. That's crazy, right? If I have a goal for June 30th, I have 20 days. I have 20 days to hit my next goal. By next week, I'll have about 13 days, right? You want to track your progress, track your success, and see how far along you are, how far away from your goal you are, and how close you are. What more things do you need to do to get it done, and what have you already gotten done, right? Just track your progress. Analyze the things that you need to be doing. And then there's two things that I want you guys to do, and I did this with my cousin yesterday. We did a whole bunch of game planning, right? So the first thing is, ask yourself, what are the things that will help me get there? What are going to be the things that are going to help me get to that goal? What are going to be the things that are going to help carry me or uplift me or help me move forward, or whatever the case is, towards that goal, right? And then the second side, you're going to ask yourself, what's going to stop me, right? What's going to stop me from this goal? What's going to stop me from achieving everything that I want to achieve? And this has to be a real conversation from you to you. This has to be a conversation where you're being honest and truthful with yourself. Have that conversation by yourself in the mirror. Nobody's around you, right? I've had a conversation the other day, and I said, I talk to myself out loud so I can hear myself speak. I go back and re-listen to recordings of me speaking because sometimes I don't catch what I say. It is what it is. There's two sides of you. There's the internal you, and then there's the external you. The internal me is not hearing my external me when I speak, because the external me is speaking. So my internal me is feeding the information to the external me. Now, when I go back and re-listen to what I have to say, re-listen to what I've already said, now the internal me is processing it differently. Not only are you guys on the receiving end of this, but I will be too, right? I learn by helping you guys learn. I think it happens like that with everybody. You learn how to teach by teaching. You learn how to transfer information by actually transferring the information, right? So you guys have to have that conversation from you to you, from the external you to the internal you. The external you is what everybody sees. This is the shell. This is the outer force, whatever the case is. This is the vessel. That internal you, though, that's your spirit. That's who you are on the inside. That's, you know, who you truly are. Not everybody sees that. Some people don't truly show that. So if you're not comfortable enough, you know, bringing that internal you out in front of people, you got to be able to do it with you. You got to be able to be honest with yourself. You got to be able to have that conversation and be like, yo, you need to tighten up. I don't know what you think you're doing. This is not it. Do better. You can do better. Right? So have that conversation from you to you. And again, be real. Be truthful. Right? What are the things that are going to help us? This is me to me. What are some things that are going to help us grow? What are some things that are going to help us get to the next level? You to you, right? What are some things that are going to give us some information or help promote us or be that support system that we need to get to the next level, whatever it may be? Then you need to ask yourself, what are some things that are going to stop us? What are some things that are getting in our way? What are some of the distractions that we have that are not allowing us to continue to propel forward? And just be real. And then you got to start working on getting rid of the distractions, or at least minimizing them as much as you can, and becoming focused on the things that are going to help you get there, right? Or sometimes the things that don't help us get there, we can use it in a different way to help us get there. Don't let things become a distraction to you. Don't let things stop you from getting to where you want to go. At the end of the day, there's two people. There's only two beings, two spiritual aspects or whatever that can stop you from achieving your goals. That's you and God. God's not going to do it intentionally unless you're meant for a bigger purpose that you won't understand. He's not going to purposely stop you from whatever it is that you want to do, because he's got his name and he's got his rep to protect. So he's going to make sure that you come out on top. He's going to make sure that you can figure everything out and you know, become that person that he's destined you to be. Fulfill that purpose that he's given you, right? So the only other person is you. The only other person is going to be how you stop yourself. You're getting in your own way. I'm getting in my own way. You got to fight that. That's your paradigm. That's your habitual behaviors. That's holding you back. Everything that you were born with, everything that you've grown with, all of that, all of those habits and whatever the case is, that's holding you back. It could be the smallest thing, from not waking up when your alarm goes off. The smallest thing of being so used to hitting snooze all the time. It's not easy sometimes. We got to break these habits. 21 days to break a habit, 90 days to really get rid of it. But don't think that because you got rid of it means that it won't creep back up on you. It will. But you have to have enough discipline and enough confidence within yourself and who you are and who you're becoming to not fall back into that trap. Right? You got to be able to say, you know what? I've been able to step away from you. This habit, whatever it is. You have many, many habits. Your paradigm is a multitude of habits, right? So I've been able to step away from this habit. I'm not going to allow you to enter back into my life. I've been disciplined and consistent with myself to break this habit. I'm not going to allow you back into my life. I'm not going to allow you to come back and take control, because I'm taking control of me. I'm taking control of my physical self. I'm taking control of the actions that I put out, my emotions, how I react to certain situations, how I act in front of the camera and behind the camera. I'm in full control. I'm not a slave to my body. My body is a slave to me. I don't like using that term, but for example purposes, right? So you got to make sure that you make that internal to external connection. You're actually one with yourself. A lot of people aren't one with who they are, with their entire being, and they live on the external. A lot of people before this pandemic started were living on the external. Pandemic hit, people don't know what to do with themselves. People don't know what they want to get done. People are sitting around not doing anything. And I think finally 3 months later, people started to pay attention to, you know what, let me actually get back in tune with who I am. Let me pay attention to what I need. Let me pay attention to some things that I've always wanted to get done. Let me start exercising, going outside. Let me start reading a little bit more. Let me start educating myself. Just because I left school doesn't mean that I don't need to educate anymore. We are in a growing world. What makes you think that you can stop growing? You're going to get left behind. Always make sure that you're putting that best foot forward to become the best version of you at all times. Because like I said, we are in a growing world. Who do you think you are to say you so who do you think you are to say that you don't need to grow, you don't need to learn, you don't need to know all that stuff? Be humble. Be humble and understand that the world is your classroom. You are a student in it. You gotta be aware of your surroundings. Take in information. Don't react, but act. Don't react to something that's happening to you. Don't react to what's happening in the outside world. Don't react to somebody, quote unquote, pissing you off. If they pissed you off, it's because you've let them. Don't react. Just act. Coming for all y'all. Coming for myself too. It's okay. Just act. See and say less. Right? Observe and move accordingly. But you also got to hold yourself accountable. That is the biggest thing. I'm going to basically end it there. That is the biggest thing. You got to hold yourself accountable when it comes to this stuff. Right? We all have our parts to play. We all have a role to play. We all have, our own accountability things that we need to work on. If you have an accountability partner, make sure you tap into who they are. Make sure you tap into whatever it is you guys said you would work on together. Make sure you tap into, checking yourself or checking them. Accountability partner, you give that person permission to hold you accountable to certain things that you said you would do. Some of y'all come at me, trust me. We all need it, right? That's all for me, to be honest. I'm gonna leave it there. Y'all know how I come. I'm always trying to get you guys to think a little bit different, think on a higher level, start to elevate yourselves, vibrate at this frequency up here so that you can now bring that person into the physical, into the present day. Connect yourself. Oh, thanks. Connect yourself with your spiritual being, right? Here's the physical, here's the spiritual, the middle is the intellect, right? So what dots are you connecting to now reach that spiritual being? What things are you educating yourself on and informing yourself on and learning and growing with so that you can connect to that spiritual being, right? Continue to put your best foot forward. Continue to vibrate at a high frequency. Continue to make sure that you the shit. You it, baby. Hold yourself to that standard. All right, y'all. My kings and queens, y'all hold your heads high today. Be the best version of you. I'm gonna holler at y'all later. Our women's call is tonight at 10:30, so make sure y'all on that. We're gonna get to hear from some of the ladies in the group who have not spoken out too much. So that's gonna be, I'm interested and excited to get to know some of these girls as well. So that's the end of that. I'm gonna talk to y'all. Love is love. Move with love. Everything will be all right.